everyone, welcome to another Classic Movie Monday, and today I'm going to be briefly discussing the film, in particular the foreign film, The Lives of Others, or as the German title is called, Das Leben der Anderen. The interesting thing about this film is not only is it a foreign film, but it is, I think, a fairly widely known foreign film, and I think it's one of the foreign films that a lot of people remember, although I'm sure there are those out there who've probably never heard of this film. But regardless, I would put this in the classic category because I think it holds up into what it's trying to say, and I think it does it so well because it is taking it from that German cultural perspective. And again, as I'm explaining the plot, you'll sort of see why this is. But I find it to be a very interesting film, and one of those films that I think stands out to me when it comes to foreign films, and as a result, I feel that it should have this sort of place as a classic foreign film, or a foreign film that has been one of the more well-known or one of the more praised or widely spread foreign films when it comes to that genre. So without further ado, let me sort of discuss what this foreign film, The Lives of Others, is about. Well, basically, it takes place in East Germany when we had still the wall up, and by the wall, I mean the Berlin Wall. And basically, in East Germany, there was a lot of spying because there was a fear that the citizens would try to overthrow the established order. And so we get this officer named or a status officer named Hauptmann, who is assigned to spy on playwright George Dreimann. And the reason why he is assigned to this person in particular is because the government is suspicious, the East German government is suspicious of him conducting resistant activity, or trying to be part of the East German resistance, trying to overthrow the established order. And again, he's not necessarily like intended to be this big leader of a character that, you know, rises up and defeats an oppressive foe. He's just someone who has these ideas that are more based within Western German philosophy, and are more based on the ideals of freedom and so on and so forth. So it only makes sense that the government in Eastern Germany would be afraid of this. And so in order to spy on him, Hauptmann basically puts in wires all throughout this playwright's house, George's house, and basically he listens and taps into the conversations that he's having, and I believe he writes it down too, as it's being spoken by the people that come into George Dreimann's house and George Dreimann himself. So they're really just trying to find some evidence as to whether or not he is a potential threat or not. So that's basically what the film is designed to be. It's designed to be about these two main characters, the Hauptmann character, who is trying to basically do his job, because that's really what his job is. He is supposed to spy on people. And George Dryman, who is just a playwright trying to make his way and actually be a part of something that eventually is supposed to bring life back into, again, East Germany, which is a very cold and dark place at this point. So it's really focused in on these two people, and hence you sort of get the title "The Lives of Others." You know, some person, some stranger, just invading somebody else's life, and basically doing so for the sake of keeping the established order. And that's, I think, something that's very interesting. And the way the film, I think, approaches it is very interesting. Now, I think there can be an argument made that this film is a little bit slow. It doesn't have that fast pace, but I don't think it's supposed to have this fast pace, especially with in regards to what the movie is about. I mean, the film is sort of supposed to take its time. There's a lot of things that are revealed within this plot, and again, I don't want to give that away. So really, what I'm giving you is really the main focus. But there are things that do come up, and there are other characters involved, and you will see this if you choose to watch the film. But I don't want to give any of that away, because I feel like that takes out the enjoyment of seeing the film for the first time and have somebody not seen this film. But the interesting thing is that, again, you do have this slower pace. You do have this, I think, really good atmosphere that the film brings when it comes to having this slow pace, especially considering the fact that East Germany was very bleak, and there was not a lot of economic opportunity. There was not a lot of choices that people could make. It was a very difficult time for them, and to, I think, have something to have this foreign film that is based upon that struggle and have them showcase it within a film, I think comes off the most effectively, because you can see that there might have been some people that they've known that have went through this, or they've probably known or had family members or friends or people that they know, or even themselves maybe even went through this time period. So it's I think that's why the film in itself succeeds so well, is because it does know how to bring in this really insightful perspective, as opposed to somebody who has never been through or has really understood the real history behind this time period and within the area of which it's taking place, which is East Germany. But really, that's the main focus of the film, and it's not really supposed to be like a survival story of really escape, like a lot of people, I think, would think that a film like this would focus on, because there were a lot of people trying to escape to go to West Germany during this time period that the film takes place. But largely, in part, the film focuses on the sort of politics and the issues that have resulted from having this sort of police surveillance state. And that was basically what East Germany was during that point. And I think it's interesting to have this kind of cultural perspective. So again, I think it's a very fascinating film, and I think it's one that should be considered a foreign film classic by its standard for what it provides. And it is a very European film, and I think you'll sort of see this if you choose to watch the film. But again, it's not really as weird or as out there as maybe a lot of other European films, but it does have this um, it feels like a European film. Like it does have that cultural feel to it, and it's nothing like a lot of other more familiar American films. It has its approach, and it just executes that approach. So again, this might be something that intrigues people, or it might not, just depending. But I think, though, that's really ultimately all I can say about this film without giving really anything away. I'm not sure if there's anyone who is familiar with German actors or European actors and actresses in general, but Hauptmann is played by Ulrich Müller, excuse me, Ulrich Mühe, and then Sebastian Koch plays Flori Dreimann. So you will see this sort of European approach throughout the film, and it's something that I think is very interesting. And it's, again, I like these different cultural perspectives, even though I might not understand them. I think it's good to have them because it gives you a better understanding of the circumstances and the politics sort of surrounding that time period, as well as this history that has been really a big part of German history. But ultimately, I think that's really all I can say. If there are any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them. I hope you all have a great day, week, month, and year, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.